tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
I'm starting
to, it's so crazy to not see that. And
it's crazy.
And listen, I hate to say what I'm going to say, but I'm starting to suspect there are not more than two genders. Like, I'm starting to lose faith in other important things.
Stephen Hayes, like the movie The Prestige. Oh, back to Jimmy.
So there's a big Supreme Court ruling. What you need to know about the Supreme Court immunity ruling in Trump's 2020 election interference case, they're giving him immunity.
What?
So the Supreme Court's ruling Monday in former President Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case makes it all but certain that the Republican will not face trial in Washington ahead of the November election.
Great job.
By the way, YouTube insists we remind viewers that presidential immunity is completely effective in stopping the spread of corruption in politics.
It slows it down.
It does slow it. It doesn't stop it, but it slows it.
It doesn't stop transmission.
In a 6-3 ruling, the justices said that former presidents are shielded from prosecution for official acts, but do not have immunity from unofficial acts. The Supreme Court sent the case back to the lower court to determine whether core aspects of the indictment are unofficial versus official and therefore potentially shielded from prosecution. Here's what to know about the ruling and what comes next. By the way, the opinion. In the court's majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that while the president is not above the law, he also may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers. Therefore, Trump is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from a prosecution for his official acts, Roberts wrote.
I mean, since we let him off for the torture thing, the other ones...
I know, right? And the the war things and the war crimes and the killing.
It's probably vital they make this decision because otherwise all the surviving presidents have to go to prison forever.
Forever. Barack Obama killed American citizens without he droned them. A kid, 16-year-old kid.
And don't even get me started on his chef's naked paddleboard trip.
That's right. The ruling means that special counsel Jack Smith cannot proceed with core allegations in the indictment, or must at least defend their use in future proceedings before the trial judge. The justices, for instance, wiped out Smith's use of allegations that Trump sought to leverage the investigative power of the Justice Department by ordering investigations into claims of voter fraud.
Wait, are you not supposed to leverage investigative power into fraud?
You're supposed to do. That's what it does not matter, the justice said, if the requested investigations were based on a sham allegations or based on an improper purpose.
Because we don't know till we do the investigation.
You don't know until you do the investigation. At the end of the day, the court said the president cannot be prosecuted for conduct within his exclusive constitutional authority. The justice said that the lower court must carefully analyze whether other allegations involve official conduct for which the president would be immune from prosecution. Boy, Teflon Don, he's the nonstick candidate, slipperier than Joe Biden in the family shower, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, because he doesn't have any actual real crimes.
That's right. I know.
I'm surprised as anyone.
I'm surprised as anyone, too.
But where are the actual crimes here?
Among the issues for further analysis is Trump's relentless badgering of then Vice President Mike Pence to not certify the electoral votes on January 6, 2021.
Oh, badgering.
What they neglected to say there, Kurt, was that Mike Pence actually likes being badgered when Trump puts on the furry suit and is a badger.
Yeah, Mike Pence is a deeply degenerate you can see just by his squinchy face.
The justices said it was ultimately the government's burden to rebut the presumption of immunity in Trump's interactions with Pence and sent the question back to U.S. Court Judge Tanya Chutkan. The fake elector scheme. The justices also directed additional fact-finding on one of the more stunning allegations in the indictment, that Trump had participated in a scheme orchestrated by allies to enlist fake electors in battleground states won by Democrat Joe Biden, who would falsely attest that Trump had won in those states.
Okay.
This is a tough call for Democrats because they also use all of these tricks.
Did he even do this, by the way?
It's like two con men fighting to get to pretend who gets to be the long-lost grandson.
I'm guessing they don't have a lot of evidence for any of this.
No. The Trump team had argued that the selection of alternate electors was in keeping with Trump's presidential interest in the integrity of administration on the federal elections, and cited as precedent an episode from 1876 in which Ulysses Grant sent federal troops to Louisiana and Mississippi to ensure that Republican electors got certified in those two cases.
By the way, if Biden Democrats did steal the election, do you think any of these fucking Democrats would care that happened?
No.
They would lie and say they didn't.
The Smith team, by contrast, portrayed the fake elector scheme as a purely private action that implied no presidential duty. The conservative justices, in their majority opinion, didn't answer the question as to which side was right, instead saying that determining whose characterization may be correct and with respect to which conduct requires a close analysis of the indictment's extensive and interrelated allegations.
But this won't hold up to close analysis.
You know, there's a lot of people are going to be voting for Donald Trump simply because neither political side likes him.
Yeah.
It's like he's out to take revenge on politics in America overall.
If he convinces me he's going to put all of MSNBC and all these people in camps, I will register to vote for him.
I will.
If he can make me believe it in my heart. I don't believe I want him to do it. I want him to execute the generals like Sagar said.
Unlike Trump's interactions with the Justice Department, the justice said this alleged conduct cannot be neatly categorized as falling within a particular presidential function. The necessary analysis is instead fact-specific, requiring assessment of numerous alleged interactions with a wide variety of state officials and private persons.
Oh, they don't want to do that.
Trial timing. The ruling makes it nearly impossible that a trial could be held before voters decide whether to send Trump back to the White House. No pre-trial preparations have taken place in more than 6 months since Chuckton put the case on hold in December to allow Trump to pursue his appeal. Wow.
Boy, The View made it seem like it was a slam dunk.
Chuckton had indicated she's likely to give the two sides at least 3 months to get ready for trial once the case returns to her court. That had left the door open to the case potentially going to trial before the election if the Supreme Court, like the lower courts, had ruled that Trump was not immune from prosecution. While with the Supreme Court ruling, however, the case could be tied up for months with legal wrangling over whether Trump's conduct was official or unofficial. The dissenters, 3 liberal justices, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and how do you say her name? Brown Jackson, sharply
Brown Jackson, the woman who doesn't know what a woman is.
Sharply criticized and thinks that censorship is good. Sharply criticized the majority opinion in scathing dissents. In her minority opinion, Sotomayor expressed fear of our democracy and said the ruling wrongly insulates presidents as a king above the law.
Oh, now it's a problem, bitch?
Wow, that is scathing.
Wow. Hello, officer. I was brutally scathed.
Oh, boy, that is scathed. To the rest of us, that's just patty cake bullshit.
Oh, I got to put some aloe on that because the scathed
that's
was
scathed.
It took the layer of skin off my entire body, the scathing.
Fear for our democracy in 2024 is like worrying about the pot roast for guests as the meteorite hits the planet. That's worry about your democracy.
Don't give David Sirota movie ideas.
There is no democracy. Yeah, right. The dissenting justice said the majority decision makes presidents immune from prosecution for acts such as ordering Navy SEALs to assassinate a political rival, organizing a military coup to hold on to power, or accepting a bribe in exchange for a pardon.
Or covering up the Kennedy murder. The fuck? What is she talking about?
So what they're saying is, normal garden variety presidential shit.
Hey, Justice Sotomayor, are you not thinking ahead? The garbage deep state might want to hold on to control in the future, and this might make it hard. You moron.
Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, and I pray they never do, the damage has been done. The relation between the president and the people he serves have shifted irrevocably. In every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law, Sotomayor wrote.
What? I'm sorry, I was getting my mandated vaccine. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry. Yeah, in a separate dissenting opinion, Jackson said the majority's ruling breaks new and dangerous ground.
Oh, are they going to define what a woman is?
So they're just noticing the chasm between presidential politics and the American people now?
Yeah. No, yeah, just now.
Have you heard about this new invention they just came up with? It's called the wheel.
Remember what Sotomayor was like, I like to think a wise Latina woman. Well, could you get one and replace Sotomayor?
Stated simply, the court now has declared the first time in history that the most powerful official in the United States can, under circumstances yet to be fully determined, become a law unto himself.
This is not... okay, wait. Is this the first time they ruled on this? It can't be, because it has been that way since before I was born. Since before I was born, they have been doing this. In fact, Richard Nixon declared it on a talk show, and everybody pretended to be mad, and then we went back to it.
Trump was convicted in May of 34 felony counts in his hush money trial in New York and is scheduled to be sentenced on July 11th. Each count of falsifying business records is punishable by up to 4 years behind bars, but there's no guarantee Trump will get prison time. Other possibilities include fines or probation. It seems almost certain that Trump's 2 other criminal cases will not go to trial before the election.
Oh, I bet they'll find a way. I bet they'll find a way to try to do something.
So, but that's what they're going after Trump for paying a hush. Again, we already showed you that Hillary, this crazy, and even Andrew Cuomo said that that case should have never been brought, and the only reason it was ever brought was because the defendant was Donald Trump.
I wonder if Andrew, after he was the receiving end of some Me Too's because we don't like you now, if he came around on, oh, maybe you shouldn't have bullshit. And also the other Cuomo who got fired from his job, who was all Mr. Me Too.
I mean, prosecuting, yes, right?
And by the way, if you paid a whore to shut up, that just sounds smart.
That's just, right.
A lot of whores talk too much.
But saying, you talk about perfect sense. I mean, prosecuting Trump for that. It makes perfect sense in the same world that has masturbating men on bicycles riding past children's in a parade.
Well, it's a pride parade. We can't be proud of riding a bike and jerking. I don't know how to do that. I'd like a president who could ride a bike and jerk off.
An appeals court recently halted Trump's Georgia 2020 election interference case while it reviews the lower court's judge ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to remain on the case. No trial date has been set in that case. No kidding.
I know.
Fani Willis, of course, can remain on the case even though she lied under oath.
I think her boyfriend should stay on.
Me too.
He's great.
That's absolutely perfect that she can remain on the case. When you have corrupt people making a corruption investigation against a corrupt individual who still isn't as corrupt as the ones investigating him.
Yeah, really incredible.
Trump was supposed to go to trial in May in another case brought by special counsel Jack Smith over classified documents found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate after he left the White House. But the U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon canceled the trial date as the case got bogged down with legal issues.
What?
Were some of those legal issues that the FBI was planting evidence?
Bogged down.
Was that some of the bogged down?
That's the worst when trials bogged down
No,
with
they get
legal issues.
Legal issues.
That's amazing.
Issues that the FBI was lying and planting evidence.
Is that the fake photograph what they're trying to refer to?
Yes. And they're going after him for a records thing. But not Joe Biden because he's too old.
Hey, what were these records? I remember Crystal Ball. It could be nuclear things. Oh.
She is such a clown.
Will you tell us what? Oh, we don't get to know what they are? I don't give a fuck if he took them then. I hope he gave them to everybody.
Me too.
They shouldn't have any secrets.
Over to Steph.
Okay. WV Girl Dad, it's time for new 1776. Can we unite as a class and show these elites we've had enough? Get rid of all these old ass Botox to the max speech slurring inside trading ass clowns. WV, wow. Thank you, WV. F. Husau, thank you, F. Husau. I don't think any of this is real. Thank you, Little Wisdom, much appreciated. Thank you, Unfuck the World. Like the movie The Prestige, Hillary's basement is full of Kamalas in glass boxes, some frozen in mid-cackle like so many Hugh Jackmans as she works on technique to steal. Press nomination, Stephen. You can't change the world, but you can change your mind, Basil. Jill Biden used to babysit Biden's kids. Naz, thank you, Naz. Missy Kins.
Yeah.
All right, back to Jimmy.
His jaw was not moving too.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you.
Shut it down.
If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have You know, people being able to contact their family. If they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators. And they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running the system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just MOVE babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.